couldn't resist. Hey gang, it's Uncle Todd here, and we're looking at another TV special. Well, it was a TV special slash soft pilot for a new proposed series. The new Addams Family. Now, the original Addams Family ran from, I believe, 64 to 66. The same time as the Munsters. Ironically, they both started at the same time and ended at the same time. They were both ratings hits when they started, and ratings started to dip in the second season. So the studios decided, or I should say the networks decided, that this whole monster thing was over and they were dropped. Didn't help that more campy, flashy color shows like Batman had started, and other shows like Lost in Space and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. had switched to color, and the Monkees had started. So yeah, maybe the Monsters and Addams Family seemed a little out of date by that time, but I think there would have still been steam left in those engines. Both have certainly shown that they are still popular with constant runs in syndication. The Monsters had a feature film soon after their cancellation in color, and they showed they could be in color and still funny. Although Pat Priest wasn't in that film. She was in her 30s at the time, so it was kind of hard in a big screen feature to come off as a teenager. But then again, they've always had older people play high school students into the 90s. But the Addams Family, they've always had kind of a cycle of coming back. In the 70s, there was a animated show for Saturday mornings that had most of the original cast. There was, of course, the two movies with Raul Julia and Angelica Houston. And there was a third film with Tim Curry and Daryl Hannah. Yeah. And, of course, there was another animated show on Saturday from the first two Raul Julia movies. And they've had two animated films. And the Monsters themselves have had reboots. They've had TV movies in the 80s, and in the 90s they had a reboot of a TV show. Come to think of it, the Addams Family also had a reboot of a TV show after their feature films. But I remember watching that, and they were just basically redoing the scripts from the original series. And it wasn't very good. But, yeah, and of course there's the Rob Zombie Monsters reboot, prequel, more like, that came out this year. So, yeah, these two shows, it's hard to not compare the two because they always came at the same time and they are very similar. But the main difference is the Monsters is a basic sitcom of the 60s with kind of the dumb father, and they went through a lot of the sitcom tropes. It was just everybody was monsters. And the Addams Family was just a gleefully weird and macabre family. And their plots did not go the standard sitcom route, for the most part. This special / soft pilot came out in 77. I saw it when it broadcast. I was about 10. So perfect age for this. And they got all but one of the original cast back. That one person was, of course, Mary Blake, who played Grandmama. She had sadly passed by that time. And so they recast the part, and they added some new characters. There was Mother Frump and Paco, who, was it Paco? Let me see here. Pancho. Pancho, played by a great Henry Daniel. Perfect. He could have been a Gomez himself, and he plays a very similar character. He's Gomez's brother, Pancho. And we have a new Wednesday Jr. and a Pugsley Jr. But the original Wednesday and Pugsley do also appear. The special starts with Gomez being upset that he's having to leave the family. He's going off to his club because he's going to be made a Grand Exaltant Serpent at his club. And it's a very big honor, and so he's going out of town. What he doesn't realize is that this is actually a ruse done by some criminals who are planning a theft. They're planning to get into the Addams home and find a safe and steal all their money and jewels. And they've got the place bugged. And meanwhile, Mother Frump is working on a formula so that she can get her broom to fly, and Lurch is getting out his pterodactyl net. He's been trying to catch a pterodactyl on Halloween for countless years, and this year he has high hopes. And Grandmama and Morticia are preparing for Halloween. They're going to have a big family party with lots of family members and guests coming. And the crooks are hoping to sneak in as costumed guests. Now, at this point, one of the criminals, Mickey, played by... I cannot remember his name. He's been in, like, everything. Hold on. Vito Scotti. I cannot believe I forgot that man's name. He has been in literally everything. In the 60s and 70s, into the 80s. I mean, he's been on Hogan's Heroes, been on Columbo, McCloud. I mean, if there was a show in the 60s or 70s, he appeared on it. Anyways, he shows up as a tax successor. And basically, he's just going to case the joint. And he is not prepared for the Addamses.
Christmas and Easter bring wonderful treasures. How do you do, sir? I understand you've come to assess.
Yes, my name is Grimm.
Grim? What a lovely name.
Mickey starts going around casing the joint. And then Wednesday Senior arrives back from music school, where she's going to wow everybody with the skills she's learned. After that, Mickey has a bit of a breakdown after running into Kitty Cat. We all remember him, right? The full-grown lion. And he's just in a verge of breakdown, but luckily, Dr. Pugsley Sr., fresh from the medical school of Nairobi, is there to take a look.
Kitty Cat down here, and something must have happened.
Doesn't our Dr. Addams have a lovely bedside manner?
I love the whole witch doctor makeup with the white doctor's coat. That is such a great joke. Anyways, Mickey, understandably, runs out of there scared to death. He runs back to his boss and quits. He's done. He's not messing with him anymore. Back at the Addams place, Morticia is horrified when she sees what the costumes the children have picked for the party.
Morticia, we mustn't stare.
But the worst is yet to come.
Now that's disgusting.
And you call yourself a doctor?
Well, obviously, Morticia can't allow this and sends them off to get dressed properly for the party. Meanwhile, Gomez, being unable to stay away from his family, ditches his trip and comes back only to find Pancho is telling the legend of Cousin Shy, as they decorate the scarecrow. Feeling he's unneeded, he goes and gets a pep talk from Cousin It.
It's the old paternal rejection syndrome. Cousin Shy won't respect me if I sulk. You're right. I should think of the children and Halloween. Yeah. Thank you, Cousin It. You're what are you anyway? Oh yes, you're all man, of course.
And so, with his spirits rejuvenated, Gomez returns to the family and helps them decorate the scarecrow. Meanwhile, the Crooks, led by Parley Bear, he, again, another familiar face from 60s and 70s TV, probably best known for playing the mayor in the later seasons of the Andy Griffith Show and being the voice of the head Keebler Elf in tons of commercials. He's come up with a great plan. He's going to use body doubles of Morticia and Gomez. After he gets them out of the way with some bodybuilders, he hired his henchmen. He goes dressed as a pirate, and his other Confederate goes dressed as Bo Peep. At the party, Morticia's sister, Ophelia, played by Carolyn Jones also, shows up, and she is chasing after Pancho. But she's not really interested in him.
Why aren't you dancing with Morticia?
Why aren't you dancing with Gomez?
You always have big eyes for Morticia.
You've always had big eyes for him.
Well, then why aren't you dancing with her?
I will.
Me too.
Fortunately for them, Gomez and Morticia have been grabbed by the bodybuilders, which sets up one of the funnier recurring jokes.
We're to try and get loose. Is that the game? This Boston branch is extremely innovative.
They bulge nicely, too.
Look, we are way off schedule. Now, did you dispose of them?
They're not going anywhere.
Ah, Mr. Addams.
We loved you.
It's cozy. Too bad. It was a good egg. I can see you're upset, but look at it this way. Life is short in the hors d'oeuvre jungle. Soon. When I said soon, I didn't have this in mind, gentlemen. You see, the witching hour is approaching, and before Cousin Shy arrives, the children have to be put to bed. And somebody has to carve the crocodile. This game is getting complicated.
Take care of her. Go dance with her. I've taken care of Gomez for keeps again. That leaves me free to poke around down here. Go on, go on, go on.
Aha! There you are.
Just scream.
Well, this has been going on. The fake Morticia and fake Gomez have had most of their time monopolized by Pancho and Ophelia, who keep dancing with them. And Lurch, having been given some advice on perhaps he should try and have a good time at the party and maybe dance with the girl, picks the Crook's unfortunate Confederate. And then Gomez gets some bad news. A telegram from his lodge. He's been reduced to second-class worm. Despondent, he goes off on his own. Fester finds the telegram and, wanting to cheer Gomez up, grabs the fake Gomez by accident and takes him down to the playroom where he slaps him down on the rack to help him relax. Meanwhile, the fake Morticia makes it up to the bedroom where Gomez and Pancho start to have a kiss-off.
You are depressed, mon cher.
He gave you permission, brother.
Shelby, pistols at dawn, sir.
Are you quite finished?
Of course, there is only one Morticia.
Exalted serpent, mon cher.
Monsieur, that's French. Took your steaming lips off my wife.
Brother, my blood is still percolating.
Percolating? This is my wife, not Mrs. Olson.
I'll send you a nice letter of apologies when this is all over.
If you can still write.
When you've got it, you've got it.
And things are not going well for the crooks either. The fake Morticia leaves. The fake Gomez convinces Fester he's not the real Gomez, and Fester lets him go, and he leaves. As for the two bodybuilders, well, there's Lurch.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here.
Come back here! Come back here! This goes on your unemployment record!
So Lurch takes his new girlfriend up to the top of the house so he can show her how to catch a pterodactyl. And at the same time, Mother Frump has perfected her flying broom formula. And we can all guess how that's going to end.
Good for you, old man.
Oh, thank you very much. Next time I'll wear my own parachute.
Meanwhile, the boss thinks he's finally found the safe. Unfortunately, it happens to be next to a rather affectionate plant.
Mr. Addams, how many times has Gomez told you not to play with strangers?
Fester, being the helpful guy he is, takes him down to the playroom and puts him on the rack, where he immediately confesses everything. Fester lets him go, and the boss has a run-in with Kitty, which sends him scurrying upstairs. And as luck would have it, the police have arrived due to a noise complaint.
There was a lion in the basement, and I leaped right out the window. There was no light here. It was a pterodactyl. Oh, please, Fuzzy, take us away! Take us away!
So the police obligingly take the crooks away, and Pancho and Gomez have a reconciliation, as brothers will. And checking on the pumpkin, they find Uncle or Cousin Shy has carved it. So they go upstairs and find that he has left them all presents under the scarecrow.
He's a real rat. Well, here we go.
Beautiful Halloween, Carita. Perfect day, perfect marriage.
Amazing with so many divorces.
Yes, lovers should try divorce first, and if it doesn't work, then marriage.
How accepted of you, mon cher.
That's French.
Yes, I know. Gomez.
And a wonderful Halloween is had by all. It's too bad this didn't become a new show. Obviously, there was a lot more to do with plots. You've got the great addition of Henry Daniel as Uncle Pancho, and he plays well off of John Aston, and you could have had more of the back and forth between them and Morticia. The funny thing is about that character is he really does want to be a good brother and not move in on the territory, but like Gomez, whenever he hears French, he's just that Addams blood. The cast all falls back into their characters quite well. I didn't feel the two little children were necessary. The adult Wednesday and Pugsley, I think, would have been fine, but the producers, I guess, felt that they needed to have two small children in it as well. One of the interesting Easter eggs is that they have a cemetery in their backyard, of course, and one of the tombstones is Charles Addams. And of course, one of the running gags in the joke in the show about the tombstones and the graveyard and everything is that everybody buried there talks and does other things underground so you could hear them, which of course scared Mickey when he was checking out the backyard. A really fun Halloween special. I mean, it's perfect for family entertainment. There's goofiness, there's that great cheerful macabreness that the family itself has. As always, they seem to view themselves as perfectly normal and don't understand why some people react the way they do, because they must just be too high-strung or something. Poor people. And of course, Ted Cassidy as Lurch, always a treat with his I love to see where he throws the barbell. And a lot of great sitcom cliches like the mix-up of identities and things. But John Aston for me is like the definitive Gomez. He's just got those eyes that look kind of demented. Raul Julia and Tim Curry, they had those big eyes too, but they really didn't quite capture his cheerful maniacalism that he always had. And on the other hand, Christina Ricci is the definitive Wednesday for a lot of people, because she so captured such an interesting, dark, yet humorous take on the character. And in this one, the original actress, she's really not given a lot to do. After the first thing where she shows off on the piccolo, that's really about it. Oh, the way Gomez kept getting out of those bonds is he kept using the piccolo to send a message to Wednesday, and she would constantly send cousin It, much to his chagrin, because he's trying to make time with the ladies, up to rescue him. That's why Gomez kept getting out so quickly. I really enjoy this special, and it is one of my favorite Halloween treats. It's up there with like the old Universal classics. Just something to really enjoy on Halloween. Well, that's about all I have to say about this one. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay after for my favorite scene.
Au revoir, mon mari, mon cher.
Lunch! They're French! Stop the car!